Hi everybody, it's Linda, and my object today is to review for you a picture book. But before I do that, I want to explain to you what I have discovered a picture book is. In finding out the definition for a picture book, I asked my children to help me. My children that I asked are ages 8, 9, 11, 13, and 18. They all gave very similar answers. My 11-year-old said that a picture book is a book with pictures and words. My 9-year-old said that a picture book is a children's book, and my 8-year-old said that it is a fun book to read to the family. Both my 13-year-old and 18-year-old agreed that a picture book has more pictures than it does words. So as I found some books to review, I've discovered that there are two different types of picture books. There are picture books, such as this one, A Stone for Sasha, that have no words. Some very beautiful pictures, but no words. These types of books go chronologically, sequentially, so that you can move through the story, and it's easier to be able to tell a story on your own. These aren't my favorite kind of books. I don't like them as much because I get involved in the books, but not really in the story, and I have a hard time telling the story. I prefer books that have a lot of humor to them, that are, as Bailey, my 8-year-old, said, fun to read. So I'm reviewing for you today a book called Be Quiet. This book by Ryan T. Higgins I found at the local library after asking the librarian for a good example of a book to read. I've not read his books before. He has other books about a bear called Bruce, but they're on my list of books to read now. One of the things that Caroline, who is 9, said that she would probably say is a negative about this book is that it has some words that are difficult for children to pronounce. One of those words is onomatopoeia. That also happens to be a favorite part in the book for the kids as I have read it to them. So you'll have to be quiet because this book has no words. I'm just kidding. It's actually filled with lots and lots of words. I like this book because this book has very fantastic pictures. The pictures describe what's going on in the sentence in the book perfectly. This one here is a picture of Rupert, who is deciding that he wants to write a wordless book. However, he runs into the problem that his book has words. More importantly, he has 2 friends. His friends are very, very, very talkative. And I love this book because the humor that I find in it is humor that adults can laugh at and children of all ages think is funny. I love the way that he defines his words. Sometimes the words are difficult for the little mice to understand, and so they make up their own definitions or their own ways of describing things. For example, and I'll read to you just a little bit here. Here, we're discussing how Nibs, who is this character here, is listening to his friend Tibble, and Tibble is telling him that they have to have strong silent types in their book. So they have to be quiet. These 2 characters really make the book because they really do. They talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And you can find at the very beginning of the book how Rupert says be quiet, and Nibs and Tibble say, do you think he's talking to us? I don't think so. We never say anything. But my very favorite part of the book here is when they're discussing onomatopoeia. And here you see they talk about cucumbers, and he's asking for a vegetable or something, and he thinks vegetarian is something very different. But when he talks about the word onomatopoeia, and you see in the page beforehand all these fantastic, well, you talk about having quiet first, and he's got all these great words that really define the word onomatopoeia. And Rupert says, no, 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 no superheroes and no onomatopoeia either. And then Nib says, or Tibble says, I think Rupert just said, I'm gonna pee ya. What do you think that means? I think it means he should have gone to the bathroom before the book started. This particular part in the book made all of my children laugh, and it made my 18-year-old and I also laugh until we cried. I highly recommend this book. It's a book great for all ages. If you get a chance to read it, check it out at your local library. It's a book by Ryan T. Higgins called Be Quiet.